What's up, folks? I got a good one for you today. It's a goodie. Now, I was looking, I was wondering to myself, when was the last time the MCU made $1 billion at the theaters? So I had to look it up. The last time the MCU made $1 billion was Endgame. So I suppose the movie was aptly titled. It made me wonder. There were some rumors floating around. And there's some things. So some of the things, many things I'll be talking about will be based on rumors. And it's just theories. If we go back to when Batman versus Superman came out, Marvel had a plan. That's what everybody says. Oh, they had a plan. Everything was planned out. Oh, so great. So they had a plan to do something. And they switched gears all of a sudden, right? This is around when BVS came out. And they dropped Civil War. All right. Now, that wasn't part of the plan. It just happened. It happened around the time of BVS. Now, it took about 3 years for BVS to come out. Man of Steel came out, and we were waiting for Superman 2, Man of Steel 2, whatever. And then it took about 3 years, and we finally got BVS. Now, in that time, Zack had been working closely with Jeff Johns. And Jeff was close with Kevin Feige. They were friends. All of a sudden, you have DC putting out these two heroes going at it, two of the biggest heroes in the world going at it. And then, next thing you know, the MCU, their heroes are going at it around the same time. It all seemed very coincidental, but maybe it wasn't. And so we start hearing little rumors. Then you fast forward, right, to 2021 when after the fans fought and finally got the Snyder Cut to get put out. So WB released Zack Snyder's Justice League, and we saw how the movie played out. And it was very interesting because this movie was done back in 2017. It was already ready. But we didn't get that movie. We got a Frankenstein version of what the movie was supposed to be from good old Joss Whedon, who had worked on the Avengers. Okay, so they bring some people over from Marvel to work on DC projects, and they turn out lackluster. And then the fans fight to get the movie they were supposed to get in the first place. But the interesting thing about it, the movie that they were supposed to get, something happened in that movie that basically happened in the last couple of movies in the MCU that made $1 billion. And what was that? The heroes lost. They had to go back in time to make things right. Now, look, the Flash is a whole lot faster than anybody in the MCU. So it's just maybe that's why it didn't take as much time for it to happen. But they broke that into 2 movies, Infinity War and Endgame. Infinity War, they lost. Endgame, they had to go back to the drawing board, regroup, find out what they're going to do, and then figure out a way to go back in time to work things out. Now, we saw that in 2021, right? We saw that Steppenwolf had completed the Unity with the mother boxes, and he basically won. And it was because of the Flash going back in time and setting things right that those heroes were able to prevail. Now, granted, Thanos snapped and it wiped out half the universe. But see, if Darkseid had gotten control of the anti-life equation, it would have been the end of multiple universes, not just half of one. So that threat was pretty significant. But it's very interesting that happened that way. And so now we get to the point where, it's around 2017, where it was around 2016 or 2017 when Snyder stepped away because of the tragedy that befell his family. In that time, we got a couple MCU movies, but it just so happens those were the last couple MCU movies that made $1 billion at the theater. So it leaves people to speculate certain people from DC were feeding Zack's ideas to the people at Marvel, and that they were using those ideas to make these movies. Because since then, people act like they just don't even like this stuff no more. Like, the movies aren't being watched the way they used to be. Maybe it's because they retired all the heroes at the end of that movie. But it's interesting to think about. Is the MCU the house that Snyder built? Did he do that? Because even when Aquaman came out, it made $1 billion. It was the one DCEU movie to make $1 billion. Zack's name was on it, and he helped with Wonder Woman 2. Not Wonder Woman 2, the original Wonder Woman movie. It just leads people to, to wonder, is Zack the brains behind both of these universes? Like, what's going on here? Now, these gunners, they gonna hate that. Oh, they gonna hate this. Oh, Snyder called Snyder bot and all that shit, right? They're just telling the truth, just telling it like it is. This is what happened. And this is what's going on. The MCU ain't making the money it used to. What changed? 2019, that was the last time. It's been 6 years now. And everything they drop, just like everything DC is dropping, is flopping. Flippity flop. So I don't know. You tell me. It was just something that was on my mind. I've seen people talking about it online. I've seen people bringing up old stuff. And I'm like, you got a good point there. I'm going to have to discuss that. So that's what this is. This is just me discussing these thoughts and things that people are talking about out here in these internet streets. So you tell me what you think. Is it possible that Zack Snyder is responsible for the success of both of these cinematic universes? This is the success that was seen in each cinematic universe. You had Man of Steel, BVS, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman, and then Zack Snyder's Justice League. The rest of that stuff ain't got nothing to do with him. But then the MCU switched gears real quick when they finally had some competition. But it was all planned. So they say. All right? But they switched gears. They did Civil War, but then their heroes lost and had to go back in time and make it right. And the fans voted for a moment in movies, their favorite moment in movies, and that was a hero going back in time and saving his group of heroes along with the world. Superman broke the rule in the first Superman movie. He turned time back to save who he loved. And then the Flash broke the rule in the Justice League movie. Zack Snyder's Justice League. He broke the rule and went back and saved the people that he basically loved. Okay, and the world. It's just something to consider, man. Maybe Snyder was the mind behind all these things. And now that he's off doing Rebel Moon stuff and other stuff. Look, they was trying to talk bad about him because he's over here doing Netflix movie. He jumped onto the Netflix thing real quick. And now that's where the Russos are. And it's funny because everybody act like they hated Rebel Moon, but Rebel Moon landed somewhere in the 50s. This Electric State did not. And it's 2 niggas working on that movie. But it's just something to think about, and that's why I'm putting it out there. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll discuss it. Man, you already know they're going to be like, oh, man, it's the pandemic. It's the pandemic. Nah, man, them niggas are just whack.
Come on, follow me, you damn insect.